everyone. So I was just jamming there over this B flat major. Well, specifically, it's coming from this exotic kind of scale, B flat, Lydian, sharp 5, sharp 9. I know it's quite a mouthful, but it's one of the modes from the harmonic major scale, which I actually would like to make a video about that scale because I find it really fascinating. And the various modes that go with it. But yeah, so this idea of playing on one string while practicing a specific tonality, I think is a really interesting and useful way to work on your improvising. And this is something that Mick Goodrick, the guru and legendary guitar player that teaches at Berklee College of Music, or did for many, many years. He taught, John Schofield and Mike Stern and Bill Frisell, and I think Pat Metheny took some lessons with him. I know they played together. But anyways, a genius of a guitar player, and he recommends to spend time playing on one string because it really is the most logical and clearest way to see tonalities and intervals and functions in a particular key, because it's just in a straight line, just as like a piano is, or a sitar. And what I was doing there specifically is just playing with one finger on one string, so very limited about in terms of what I can work with. And again, like I've mentioned in other videos, limitation equals expansion. So when you limit yourself, it really forces you to be creative within that limitation. And playing with one finger on one string, it's not possible, I don't think anyways, to rely on any licks or hand moves or muscle memory or anything that's more in the compositional category. But rather it forces you to improvise. And yeah, so the idea of playing on one string is something I do, or just the practice of playing on one string is something I do a little bit every day, at least I have for a while. And I'll loop different kind of vamps into my looper to hear the underlying, function of the tonality, and it just kind of makes it a little more fun than just playing with the metronome. So as that's happening, yeah, while the loop's happening, then I can really hear the colors of the tonality, and so it's really useful to get. It's a useful way to get a new tonality in your ear, and Lydian sharp 5, sharp 9. Well, it's not totally new to my ear. I'm still, getting acclimated to it, so that I kind of hear it in a way that just feels natural. It is a pretty out there kind of scale when you think about it in terms of it's a major sound with these tensions in it. But like I mentioned in another video, those tension notes can over time become something that you hear more naturally, and therefore you'll be able to use them. And what that does, it just opens up your ear to have a broader range of colors to work with. And some of these sounds can get you away. Well, they definitely get you. They definitely get you away from popular music, right? But here we are as practitioners of music, so the idea of limiting ourselves to stuff that's popular seems, I don't know, it just kind of seems irrelevant. Rather, we're just exploring music and trying to develop a strong connection with music and these different sounds. Anyways, I'm rambling. But yeah, just wanted to kind of demonstrate this exercise to you guys, and because again, like one of the things about it being so logical, like, you know, if this is the root here, then you can see, you know, 1, 2, 3. You can see the third in a very logical fashion because it's in a straight line. Whereas from you know, this B flat here to this D here, you know, I mean, I've memorized this as a major third, that shape, but it's not quite as clear how that's a major third compared to, you know, that distance there. You can just see it. So yeah, it's just a really interesting way to kind of see the intervals within a tonality and relating it to, you know, here's sharp 11, sharp 5. That's really exotic to my ear. 7. Yeah, I mean, as I'm kind of, you know, I guess I do kind of think about the functions as I'm doing this. Yeah, I do. It could go either way. It could be like I see the sharp 9, so then I'll go to it, or I can just instinctually see that that's in this tonality, and then I'll play it, and then it makes me think, oh, that sounds like sharp 9. So it can kind of go both ways. Or I might just hear the melodic idea. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, there's kind of different ways, if you try this out, there's different ways to hear and to kind of direct your focus just in these kind of different ways, and I think they're all really useful to think just, you know, melodically, or to kind of hear the functions within the melody, seeing the functions, you know, kind of coming at it from all these different angles. And you know, one of the things that this definitely affords you to do as well is, if I'm here on major 7, I can jump way up there. And I should say, a couple last things I'll just leave you guys with. Any one of these videos I can ramble on, so I have to kind of be disciplined about just cutting off. Talking about music is never a problem for me. So I'm grateful for those of you out there that are listening. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, this idea of just like skipping around the neck this way, it helps you to you know, I don't know, there might be some people on here that maybe feel a little less comfortable up here, so it kind of forces you to get out of that fear. The other thing too with playing on one string, and I wasn't really implementing this so much in the beginning, man, there's so many things to even say about just this one exercise. You know, the slides, right? And then with one finger, you can't do any pull-offs. You can't do any hammer-ons. So you're really, in terms of legato technique, you're really left with, I guess you could do a pull-off there to the open string. You're really left with sliding up and sliding down for that particular type of articulation. So most of it's going to be picking and a little bit of sliding. And so the last thing I'll say here is, by limiting yourself to one string, along with many other things that I haven't even mentioned, can help you to zone in on how your pick is connecting to the specific finger, and you can develop a really interesting, this is really subtle stuff here, really interesting connection that wouldn't otherwise happen if you're using all 4 fingers all the time and playing on all the different strings, but focusing on one finger and just the pick, and how are you connecting that pick to that one finger, and also just like the pressure that's kind of going on that generates the articulation and the effect of the note. Anyways, I'll leave it there. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.